2017 was a great year for video games, but I hear that 2018 will be even better. Do you agree with this? That is a very tall order to fill. 2017 has been an insanely good year for games. I mean, not even looking at just individual titles. I mean, we got the One X, we got the Switch, we got a new Mario and a new Zelda that were both amazing. We got some of the best JRPGs, and just in general this year has been insane. So to say that 2018 is going to be better is, like, I'm not saying it's impossible, and there's totally some like great stuff on the horizon that we've heard about, but is it gonna be this year? That's gonna take some work. Which, kind of following that same vein, what game are you most looking forward to in 2018? So right now there's probably two games that I am most hyped for at the moment, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2 and Soul Calibur 6. Admittedly, part of the reason for Soul Calibur 6 is because it just got announced like, what, not even a week ago, so I'm still like riding the hype train from that. But Red Dead Redemption is one of the games I'm most hyped for, mainly because while, we had, GTA 5, which was great, and there's a lot of other good action games and open world stuff that goes on, there are so few games that touch on the Western genre. So to have another entry in what is the best Western game ever made is just something I really need soon. As for Soul Calibur 6, well, I just love the Soul Calibur franchise, and I thought it was actually dead after a while because Tekken's basically been the main focus, but it's coming back, and they actually look like they're kind of going back to the roots of the older game while still mixing in some new mechanics, which I really like the idea of, so one of those two. Definitely. Do you feel that other gaming companies are going to start making handheld consoles to compete with Nintendo? Probably not. At least as far as like the major companies right now goes, I don't think anyone's going to dive into making a Switch clone just yet. If someone were going to, maybe Sony. That is something they've kind of experimented with before with the PlayStation Portable and the PS Vita. It's stuff they've done, but it hasn't really worked out super well in the past. I mean, it has its dedicated fan base, but it is not exactly something that, flew off store shelves. I think it's possible. I really doubt Microsoft would do anything about that. I think they're really focused on just making the living room experience as great as possible. I don't think handheld is something they're currently interested in, but who knows? They could throw a curveball because, as we've seen, the Switch is clearly something that people like and want to keep using. So yeah, I could definitely see someone get into competition, probably Sony, but who knows? Now, it's kind of the reverse on that one. Both Sony and Microsoft have done hardware updates for their platforms recently, the One X and the PS4 Pro. Do you think Nintendo will do the same for the Switch in 2018? What are your desires if they do? I really doubt we're gonna get an updated Switch in 2018. Seeing as how the system came out earlier this year, I just think that's a little too soon for Nintendo to do a full new model version. It's not impossible. It could be something they did for the holiday season, but I think more likely we're gonna see that in 2019. If we do get something in 2018, it'd probably just be some kind of special edition system that might offer some minor upgrades, maybe a little more internal storage, something like that. That's all I think we'll get. Now, if we do get a model update in 2019, 2020, whenever, things I would like to see, mostly just changes to the physical form to make it, well, better. Maybe just making it a little thinner, improving the cooling a little bit, change the kickstand, because I really, really hate that kickstand, and having something that's actually functional would be awesome. And maybe get a little more experimental with Joy-Con designs. I mean, yes, you could just take the old Joy-Cons from a previous system and slap it on a newer model, but if they're gonna do a new model, I think also changing the controller design could be an interesting way to kind of differentiate and give people a way to sort of halfway upgrade. What has been your biggest disappointment in gaming this year? This is honestly probably like a common answer, but Mass Effect Andromeda. Not because I even hated the game, like actually I kind of liked it, or at least didn't hate it as much as other people did, but it just was such a waste of potential. There were so many kind of like just good ideas that kind of formed the basis of the game, but then a lot of it was squandered on being this rushed project where there's bugs everywhere, there's pointless side quests, plot lines that go nowhere, things that are just never addressed. There was so much potential, and it went absolutely nowhere to become just a meh game. If you had to choose just one console, past or present, you can use all of its games, which one would it be and why? It's a tough one, but I would probably have to say, off the top of my head, PlayStation 1. A lot of games I really love are on that system, and while the SNES has a lot of my other favorite games, thankfully, most of those were ported onto the PS1, like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, FF4, and even some games that we didn't get in the US that we got later through that. So yeah, probably PlayStation 1. I'm definitely losing some stuff from PS2 and from just PC gaming in general, but if just one, probably PlayStation 1.